These are the worst and most unforgettable deaths in the DC universe. Sue Dibney. Now this one hits differently. Identity Crisis wasn't just another superhero story. It started with Sue Dibney, the wife of Elongated Man. She was murdered. That brutal act set off a chain reaction. Heroes started spiraling. Secrets came out. Lines were crossed. It turned into a tragic murder mystery drenched in betrayal, forced mind wipes, and emotional destruction. Turns out, the killer wasn't a villain at all. It was Jean Loring, the ex-wife of the Atom. She wanted to get back with her husband and thought putting Sue in danger, but not killing her, would scare him back to her. But things went wrong. Sue died, Jean lost her mind and ended up in Arkham Asylum. Rorschach. In the final issue of the original Watchmen comic series, the one titled A Stronger Loving World, things take a dark turn fast. Ozymandias, the guy everyone thought had good intentions, turned out to be the mastermind behind everything awful. He staged the comedian's death, framed people, manipulated Dr. Manhattan, and even killed thousands in New York, all to prevent a nuclear war between the US and the Soviet Union. And Rorschach? He's not buying any of it. For him, truth matters more than peace through lies. He wants to reveal everything. But Dr. Manhattan, who's basically a god, confronts him. Rorschach tells him bluntly, "You'll have to kill me to stop me." So Manhattan does. With a snap of his fingers, he disintegrates Rorschach. Just like that. Gone. Boom. Nothing left but a small, smoking crater in the snow. Green Arrow. You probably know Green Arrow, the guy with the bow and arrow, kind of like Batman but with more color and fewer dead parents. He was always fighting crime in Star City with his sharp aim, martial arts, and fancy tech. But in 1995, DC decided to hit fans right in the feelings. The story goes like this. The Russians came up with a plan to drop a bomb on Metropolis. Not just any bomb, but one carrying a deadly bacteria that would wipe out entire buildings and the people inside them. While this bomb was being moved by plane, it had a nasty little trick. It needed 2 hands on a sensor to keep it from exploding. Guess who ended up putting one of his arms on it? Yep, Green Arrow. And he knew the second he let go, it was game over. Superman swooped in, as usual, and suggested, "Hey, I could just laser off your arm and save everyone." But Ollie wasn't having it. No amputations for him. He stood firm and the bomb blew. And just like that, the Green Arrow was gone. Ted Kord, aka the second Blue Beetle, wasn't the most famous hero, but he was clever, funny, and always tried to do the right thing. So when his company's money started disappearing, he went full detective mode. His investigation led him to a chilling truth. Someone was planning to take out the superhuman community. That someone? Maxwell Lord, a man who once helped run the Justice League. Maxwell had changed. He gained the power to control minds and used it to manipulate heroes. When Ted refused to join him, Maxwell pulled a gun and shot him in the head. No fight, no escape, just a gunshot and a corpse. This one was raw. It wasn't flashy. It was just real. And that's what made it land so hard. Jason Todd. Jason Todd was never like the first Robin. He was brash, angry, and impatient. He made mistakes and took risks. Some fans didn't like him, while others saw him as the raw, more realistic version of a sidekick raised in Gotham's dark streets. DC did something unheard of. They let the fans decide his fate. In 1988, they set up a phone-in vote. Should Robin live or die? The vote was close, but the readers chose death. In Batman, A Death in the Family, Jason tracks his birth mother to the Middle East. But the Joker is already there. He captures Jason, locks him in a warehouse, and beats him nearly to death with a crowbar. Then, he leaves a bomb behind. Batman races to save him but arrives moments too late. The explosion ends it. Jason dies. This wasn't just a twist. It was deeply traumatic. Years later, Jason returns as the violent anti-hero Red Hood. But in 1988, there was no coming back. Just a silent panel of Batman holding his broken body, and a dark cloud over Gotham. That moment will forever live in the comic book history. You'll find it in Batman issues number 426 through number 429. Barry Allen. Let's talk about Crisis on Infinite Earths, one of the most dramatic events in DC history. The multiverse had grown too messy, with overlapping timelines and confusing stories. So DC decided to reset everything. Enter Barry Allen, the second Flash. When the Anti-Monitor built a massive antimatter cannon to wipe out existence, Barry knew what he had to do. He ran faster than ever, channeling every ounce of speed to stop the weapon. As he pushed beyond his limits, his body began to disintegrate, vanishing piece by piece until he became pure energy. In that moment, Barry Allen gave everything. He didn't just stop the machine. He saved the multiverse by becoming the lightning that created the Flash legacy. Supergirl. Still in the same crazy storyline, Crisis on Infinite Earths, Supergirl made her final move. Kara Zor-El, cousin of Superman, was tough, kind, and powerful. But because the new DC wanted just one Kryptonian, Superman, Supergirl had to go. At least she went down swinging. She took on the Anti-Monitor head-on, trading blows with a cosmic monster throwing universe-breaking energy beams. She fought through insane damage, refusing to give up. Eventually, she died protecting Superman, collapsing in his arms. He held her body, wrapped her in her indestructible cape, and released her into space. It wasn't a long goodbye. No drawn-out moment. Just boom, gone. Kara's death hit fans hard. No warning, no fancy build-up, just a brutal end. Damian Wayne. Damian Wayne was never a normal child. Raised by the League of Assassins, trained in every weapon, and groomed to be a killer, he was born into violence. But when he became Robin, something changed. Under Bruce's guidance, Damian wanted more than blood. He wanted purpose. In Batman Incorporated number 8, that dream dies. During a mission, Damian goes up against a wave of genetically engineered clone soldiers. Among them is his own clone, bred to kill him. He fights with everything he has. Every punch, every move is pure skill. But he's just a boy. A warrior, yes, but still a boy. He's stabbed through the chest. Batman arrives just in time to catch him as he falls. He holds his dying son, helpless. Damian looks up at him one last time. The moment is pure devastation. Bruce has faced gods and monsters, but here, he is truly powerless. The panels are drawn with silence. No long speeches. Just a father losing his son. Superman. In the miniseries Wonder Woman. Dead Earth, the world has already lost. Earth is nothing more than a burned-out husk, crawling with monsters and the bones of dead civilizations. After centuries of slumber, Diana wakes up alone in the remains of the Batcave. The skies are black, the air is toxic, and her once beautiful world is gone. As she pieces together what happened, she makes her way to the Fortress of Solitude. Hoping for answers or even comfort, she searches for Superman, the one person who always stood strong. But what she finds is a nightmare. Superman's body is still there, seated on a frozen throne, lifeless. He died long ago. But the truth cuts even deeper. She learns that she was the one who killed him. During the chaos of a worldwide war, Superman flew off to save Smallville while Wonder Woman stayed to defend Themyscira. Her homeland was wiped out. Everyone she loved was killed. Rage overtook her. In a blind frenzy of grief and fury, she fought Superman. Their battle was fierce, but she was too far gone. She struck the final blow. She forgot it all until now. The sight of him, frozen, still, and dead by her own hands, shatters her. Roy Harper, Arsenal. He lost his arm and daughter, and then he lost himself. Roy Harper's life was marked by pain. Addiction. Roy was one of the heroes staying at Sanctuary, a secret trauma recovery center created by Superman, Batman, and Wonder Woman. It was a place where heroes could deal with grief, PTSD, and emotional damage away from the public eye. But something went wrong. Sanctuary was attacked. Many heroes were found dead, and among them was Roy Harper. His body was discovered with others on the grounds of the facility, the victim of what first appeared to be a mass shooting. It was later revealed that Wally West, the Flash, had lost control of his powers during an emotional breakdown, accidentally causing the deaths of multiple people at once, including Roy. Ted Kord, Blue Beetle. He was the one who figured it out, but no one listened. Ted Kord never had powers, just courage. When others overlooked the signs, Ted saw the truth. A secret threat was rising from within, a betrayal that could tear the Justice League apart. He followed the clues, connected the dots, and went to the one place no one expected, straight to the source. But instead of recognition, he got a bullet. Ted Kord died alone, still fighting, still trying to warn the world. He wasn't the strongest, he wasn't the fastest, but he was right, and he died proving it. Arthur Curry, Aquaman. Arthur Curry was never just a hero, he was royalty. A bridge between two worlds, but his reign was one of constant war defending Atlantis from above, below, and within. No matter how many times he saved his people, the world never saw him as more than the sea guy. He gave everything for Atlantis. In our worlds at war, he sacrificed himself to keep the city alive, vanishing into the depths. Later, during the multiverse collapse, he was just gone, faded beneath the waves, with no one left to remember the tide he held back. Arthur never stopped fighting, not for recognition, not for power, just for peace that he never got. If there's a DC death that still haunts you, drop it in the comments. Part 2 is already calling.